It's your boy Mac.
It's your boy Don.
And we back at it again. Episode number 26 or 27 of the Mac and Don show.
We ain't never gonna get that one.
Yeah,
right.
we'll never get it down right. That's okay. That's okay. We'll get another person in the back that'll tell us.
Yeah. One
What
day.
episode we're on.
When we're famous. Rich and famous.
Rich and famous. Hell yeah. But we back at it again. Before we even get started, make sure you subscribe and like and comment wherever you're listening at, and let us know what you want to hear next from us. Had to get that out the way because usually we do it at the end.
Usually we gotta mix it up. You know what I mean? We gotta keep y'all on your toes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. We're gonna go ahead and cheers and to this here episode of the Mac and Don show.
Starting the show off right, getting your mind right.
Yeah, for sure. Getting our minds right.
Yes, sir.
How you feeling this week, Don? How we feeling?
Real good now that I'm having a brewski.
Oh yeah.
Not gonna cap.
This is pretty tasty.
Yeah. Shout out to Brennan for getting the most generic shit at the liquor store. I love that dude.
I mean, it's not that generic. It's a black apricot sour.
You ever heard of that brand?
Yeah, that means it's not generic.
Generic. Well, okay, fair enough. I meant Rinky Dink.
Okay, maybe a little rinky dink. Maybe a little rinky dink. But what can you do? It's Colorado. You know how many little breweries we have and shit?
I don't know. Get something that's more of a commodity.
Oh, you want the run of the mill shit?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm a Coors Light kind of guy. You know what I
Coors
mean?
Light.
I'll take a Corona. Any Mexican beer, I fuck with Mexican beers.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
Like a good Tecate.
I don't even know what that means. Tecate?
Tecate. It's a Mexican beer.
Fava beans? All right.
In a nice Chianti, right?
Nice Chianti.
All right. So,
Before we even get started, it's just how are we?
how are we? Mental state? World War III vibes. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, I'm fucking aces. I've been happier than I've been in quite some time, I would say.
Why do you think that is, Don?
I'm just taking hold the reins of life. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm life's a bitch, and I'm gonna make that bitch moan. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just
Hell yeah.
I'm just taking it one handful of hair at a time. You know what I'm saying?
Why do we think life's a bitch but God's a dude?
You might think. Speak for yourself, buddy. I think that God's a hermaphrodite.
That's
Boy and girl.
crazy to think.
Genitals. Is that sacrilege? My bad. Right after Ash Wednesday.
Ash Wednesday.
My fault. Anyway.
You're not even. I'm not Catholic.
Yeah, me neither.
Who gives a fuck about Ash Wednesday?
True that.
Oh, what the fuck? That's just another Wednesday.
Priests and choir boys? I don't know. You tell me.
Yeah, fair enough. One of my coworkers used to be a
Catholic? Oh, God.
no, not a Catholic, a pastor.
Oh.
A pastor.
Okay, a Catholic one?
No,
Okay.
I think those are called priests and
Oh.
Catholics.
I thought you were going to say predators.
I don't know.
My bad.
Do you think never mind.
You think there's a God?
I mean, that's a good question. What do we think? Do you think there's a God? I don't know.
Me neither. I also don't know.
It's like,
Do you know? No, you don't. First of all, don't even answer that question. You don't.
I always refer to God as the universe.
Right.
But then I was watching this video and it was like, you wouldn't refer to someone that like made something. You know what I'm saying? Like if the story is that God made the universe and you're giving the universe all the credit, you know what I'm saying?
But I also don't think
if you built this house, you would, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And
But
then someone was like, yeah, this house is the best. And you were like, well, what about me?
I also don't think God like rolled up his sleeves on his robe and was like, like trimming the world together. You know what I mean? I don't think it was like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't think he was like at a saw table, like putting the earth together.
But
You know
what if
I mean?
he was like, what, like,
Excuse me, ma.
I know this sounds crazy, but like, if God created the world, who the fuck created God?
Right, it's like the chicken and the egg type.
Yeah,
thing.
yeah. It's like this dude just chilling here in the cosmos, and he's like, you know what'd be fun?
He's probably bored, first of all.
Yeah, but you have to like be alive first to be bored. You know, you have to exist first to experience boredom, and then to, you know what I'm saying?
Isn't it like in the beginning there's like God, and then like God is the light, and then it's like a yin and a yang, where it's like it's just like,
I don't know. Don't ask me.
I feel like it's like God has always existed, and he was just like brought into existence, or like maybe he curates his own existence because we're made in God's image.
Yeah, right. But what image was God made in? You know what I'm saying?
Right. And you know, like, have you ever heard of like the biblical renditions of angels?
Yeah, they're like crazy ass scary shits.
Yeah, like hundreds of eyes and like wings and stuff like that. I think that's how God is. I feel like God is just like, if you saw him, your brain would just melt and explode, because like, you know what I mean? I feel like it's scary to us because it's the unknown. You know, the unknown is super scary.
Right. I think that's what people mean when they're like, when they're supposed to say like you're supposed to fear God or something like that.
You're supposed to fear the like
the power.
The yeah, it's like fear the sheer like, because it's.
But I feel like all that shit is just like a method of control. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like once
made
you
up
get
by
into,
the white man.
Yeah, but like once you get into like. Exactly. Like once you get into that type of stuff, it's like once you get into nitty gritty, it's like I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like at the end of the day, like most religions tell like mostly the same story, you know.
Yeah. I believe in that, but a
lot of religions like have the same basis, like Christianity and Judaism, like they both have the Old Testament.
They both believe Jesus was a prophet at the very least. You know what I mean? They have similarities.
So it's like based in the same doctrine, but then you just go separate ways. So it's like, why is it really that big of a deal?
Right. But on the other end of the spectrum, I hate people with like coexist bumper stickers. You know what I mean? Where it's like, it's like,
I mean, yeah,
but I also like, I'm not trying to burn Jews or anything. You know what I mean? Like they could just be. I'm just all about everybody doing whatever the fuck they want, as long as it doesn't affect me in any
very
way.
True, very true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think it's all just coping. Isn't it all just coping mechanisms with what's gonna happen after you die? Like
it is, but like no one knows what really happens. Like we need to talk to someone who like died and came back.
Yeah, there was a documentary on Netflix like that where it was like people who had flatlined and been dead for like hours. There was this one, the first woman, she fell off of a cliff, waterfall, in a kayak, and she was like submerged underwater for a long time, and she was actually brain dead for like hours and hours. And she said that she just remembers like seeing all the water running over her and feeling bliss. Like she just was like, I think it's like the adrenaline and all the chemicals in your body just assisting.
Like your body's being like, oh fuck, we're like really dying.
Yeah, like the like realization of like, oh like this really happened.
Right.
And your brain is just like, all right, release endorphins, release dopamine, and we're just gonna try to get out of this like as painless as possible.
Right.
But have I ever told you my theory about how if death is painful, then the equal and opposite reaction would be pure bliss?
Yeah, I think you did tell me that.
Because it's a law of physics. It's like for every force, like if I push you, there's like an equal amount of force pushing back at me. And so I feel like if it's painful to die, then it's like blissful. Right. It's blissful right after. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think Socrates said like something to the effect of like we weren't afraid to be born, or we weren't like afraid of what happened before
creation.
Right. Like the realm or whatever like existence we were before we were born. Like we weren't scared of that.
But when you came into being is when you started having all these like
right.
yeah.
So it's like why be scared of if you assume it's the same like plane or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, it's
and
that's why
it,
that's why I just chalked it up to like coping mechanisms with death. You know what I mean? I feel like it's all just like people afraid to die or like worried about what's gonna happen if you die, and it's like an obsession people have. I feel like it could easily become an obsession, and that's how.
Do you think everybody's afraid to die?
Not everybody. Are you afraid to die?
Well, yeah, I think at the base level, like for sure.
I think it depends on how I die.
I think it's like we all have like that, like something in us, like that survival instinct. Like
yeah. The fight or flight.
Yeah, like if death is staring you in your face, like you're gonna do something.
Yeah, no doubt. Like if you're backed into a corner, you're either finding a run strategy for surviving or a fight strategy for surviving. You know what I mean? Right. So,
but sometimes I think about my grandma, and she would always like tell me like just random shit and be like, oh yeah, when I die, such and such. And I'd be like, yo, why would you even think about some crazy shit like that? Like, in my head. But, like, just thinking about it, I'm just like, what if she was, like, just accepting the fact that she was going to die? You know what I'm saying?
Like, my grandma writes our names down on her stuff for, like, after she dies, she's going to, like, pass it down to us.
Yeah, my grandma does the same shit.
It's because she got fucked over when her parents died.
Damn.
My great aunt and my great uncle fucked her on a lot of their parents' stuff. Like it wasn't split evenly, and she was like supposed to inherit a bunch of stuff, and they split it amongst themselves and kept a bunch of shit, and they like hardly talk anymore. Like they totally broke up.
Yeah, my grandma did that same shit. Like I just got a package like with a whole bunch of books and stuff my cousin sent me, and they literally just had my name in them, and like a couple of them had notes.
Really?
Yeah, I was like, damn.
Like she's just like
literally talking
preemptive.
Yeah, literally talking to me from the dead. And I'm like, this is kind of trippy.
Yeah, I bet. That's actually really crazy. There was one thing with my name on it, and it's a mirror that's also a painting. It's like a painting of a river, but the river is exposed as the mirror, so it's like reflecting back at you. And I've always thought it was cool as a kid, and my grandma like has told me since I can remember that like that's gonna be yours when I die. Like she's like your name is on it, and it's because she has that like.
That's crazy.
Yeah, she's just like, and that's what it reminds me of. Because, yeah, crazy shit.
All right. Let's liven it up and spark the blunt.
Liven it up. It's lit.
Literally. All right. Let's talk about Lighthouse.
Let's talk about Robert Pattinson in Lighthouse.
Yeah, what should we give a synopsis first?
Yes. If you haven't seen Lighthouse before,
it's kind of it's not old, but it's not new. It's like
2019.
2019. So like 2-3 years old, but I feel like pandemic time like is different.
Right. Yeah.
It's like what good movies came out in the pandemic, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
I don't know. That's another thing beside the point. But so 2019 film, black and white.
If you can stand to watch black and white. I know some people are not very partial. Like my sister refuses to watch black and white movies.
I hate people like that.
My girlfriend also. You heard it here first, folks.
But I'm like, why not even just give it a try?
Right. It's like it doesn't mean it's a bad movie.
Like
just because the color.
It's a stylized choice.
Right. Exactly. That's how I feel.
We could have made this in color. We chose not to.
Exactly. And like that. I'm glad you can appreciate that. And it's why our dynamic works very well, especially on the show.
I think that some people don't appreciate art.
It is art. You're right, 100%.
I feel like I don't know.
But you know, there's always going to be people that are on the opposing side.
Yeah, but I'm sure they appreciate their own types of quote unquote art, but like they don't kind of appreciate art in all forms.
Right. You just pick and choose.
Right.
It's like a selective bias.
Yeah. But that's beside the point.
Yeah.
That's beside the point. All right.
Not shitting on these imaginary people.
Yeah, imaginary people.
Yeah.
So 2019 film has Robert Pattinson and
Willem Dafoe.
Only
2 characters in the show.
Yeah,
or in the movie.
Yeah, that's about it.
Show. It's a good movie.
And it's about this dude. Robert Pattinson plays like this new guy.
Like a hand. Like
yeah. That's coming.
What would you call it? A work hand or something like that?
Yeah, like a work hand that's coming to watch over the lighthouse with this,
maintain the lighthouse.
To maintain the lighthouse for like it's 4 months or 4 weeks.
Yeah,
a month that they're supposed.
I think
to
it's a month. Yeah.
So he has 4. It's like in the old times, 1800s type shit.
And the way it's set up is very like. Like it's just like an agreement that they have with somebody that they're gonna get paid if they stay out. You know what I mean? It's not like it's very like an old way of like doing things. You know what I mean? Like today you would have to have like OSHA people like checking in on that. You know what I mean? It's like back then it's like you're gonna live on this island if you don't fuck shit up by this amount of time. You know?
Right. So basically, this dude has a job where he has to live on this island with the lighthouse, maintain the lighthouse. But he has to live there for a whole month with this other dude,
and the other dude
is like kind of his boss, basically.
Right, exactly.
He's like the overseer, and he basically tells Robert Pattinson's character like what to do.
And he's William Dafoe.
And
this other guy.
And the other dude is William Dafoe.
Gotcha.
And he's like the older dude.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna just refer to them as the younger dude and the older dude.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
Probably easiest.
Yeah. Because we already know who they are.
Yeah, because they end up having the same first name.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard.
But he comes up with a bunch of nicknames for him throughout the movie. You know what I mean? But it starts off pretty like it feels like a slow burn at first. It's like what am I getting into? I feel like from what I remember,
it's kind of like those things that drop you right into the plot. Like there's no exposition.
Yeah, it's very like cryptic in a way where you kind of have to piece it together as you go along.
Right. And it's like they use old timey language and shit.
Yeah, like sailor talk and stuff like that.
Sailor talk, for sure. And it feels like a play to me. That's what it felt like.
Why'd you spill your beans?
Yeah. Why'd you spill your beans?
Why'd you spill your beans?
But should we get into some of our favorite scenes? Bless your sweet soul.
You're a gentleman and a scholar.
Man, it's a good thing COVID ain't going around anywhere.
I just coughed right in your mouth.
All right, favorite scenes.
When he's tripping about the mermaid, it's like the hands are like going down. You know what I mean? And like
where he's having the dream.
Yeah, but it seems real. Yeah, it seems super real.
But where he fucks the mermaid.
Yeah.
Or like the middle of it turns into like a makeshift vagina.
But you find out later that it's like just a deck of cards or something like that. It has like, or like, it was just like an image of a mermaid that he was like jerking it to.
That scene in the shed?
Yeah.
That's what you're talking about?
Just whenever it's like, it shows the flashes of the mermaid.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
That was a weird scene.
And it's just like, that is like a metaphor for his like, I don't want to get like pretentious with it, but it's like a metaphor for his loneliness and like, sailors would see manatees and think they're like mermaids and shit and like want to fuck them. And so it's like a siren thing, but also I think
I was doing like a little bit of like very light research on this. And I guess that
Wikipedia articles.
Yeah. And YouTube deep dive.
Yeah.
And I guess that like mermaids and lighthouses are like intertwined.
Okay.
As far as like
imagery,
stories go and imagery and stuff like that. Like, do you remember that Disney movie, The 13th Year, where the dude turns into a mermaid?
Yes. That's a classic.
That is a classic.
Classic.
I was about to be like, damn, you really don't know that one?
You had that like locked and loaded. You're like, I'm like, yeah, I have seen that. You're like, damn, you ain't really seen this? Oh, my bad.
Yeah.
My bad.
But he turns into the mermaid, but that has a lighthouse in it too, and like there was
does it?
Yeah, I can't remember.
It's been a while since
I can't remember any of the other like correlations, but like lighthouses and mermaids like go hand in hand, like in like sailor lore or whatnot. So
I think it's because, just off top, lighthouses are for ships to like lead in to the shore, and mermaids are like typically also associated with sirens. Like sirens, they like lure you into the rocks, Like,
I mean, so like in Homer's Odyssey, the mermaid sirens,
right? Exactly.
Like
Sinbad,
like, seduce them and shit.
Yeah, it happens in Sinbad too. Like he's so a pirate.
Like constant imagery of that.
And like they tempt you in a way that makes you
They're the horny police.
Right. Yeah. We're the horny police.
I can't be the horny police.
You can't. Yeah. You actually turn in your gun and badge right now.
Yeah, I'd be the most crooked cop.
Yeah. You'd be the Denzel Washington of the horny police. You'd be the King Kong of this motherfucker. All right?
King Kong ain't got shit on me.
For real.
All right. Let's stay on top of that.
My bad.
Was it just me, or were you getting like homoerotic tones from this movie? Like an old time Brokeback Mountain.
Just because of their like one moment they'll be screaming at each other, and then like the next they'll be like drunk and like dancing and like singing with each other.
Well, that. And
but it's like
there's that one scene where he's like fixing the roof. He's like, get the fuck off of me, right? Or something like that. No. He's fixing the roof, and then he's like spying on the old dude. And the old dude's like jerking it. He's like sitting in the bed.
Yeah.
Like humping the bed.
Yeah. It's been a while since I've seen it.
And then there's that part where they were drunk, and then they were like dancing and shit, and then they were like looking deep in each other's eyes, and then it looked like they were about to kiss, and then at the spot where they were like this close, they were like, ah, and like we're about to fight.
Yeah, I think that's like a theme. I think that's like in there on purpose, because it's like the trials and tribulations of loneliness.
Right.
I think
it's like, never mind. Go on.
That's like, if we're talking in a literary aspect, like there's like an overall theme. There's a couple of themes going on, and I think it's the big thing is loneliness, being alone, and the psychosis that comes along with that, and crossing your boundaries that you wouldn't really cross in everyday life. You know what I mean?
Right.
You're on this island alone. Nobody's gonna know. It's just you and me. We're kissing, right?
Right.
You heard it here first, folks. Got his ass. Hey, Donovan, Horny Police PD. All right, I'm bringing you in. I'm citizen's arrest.
Damn, you're like that cop that was like, how much have you had to drink today? And he was like,
fuck. I'm like, we got one. I'm gonna need backup.
Anyways.
I'm gonna need backup, please.
Let's stay on.
2 cruisers.
Okay, what do we think about the? It wasn't really a plot twist, but what do we think about the dude's past, like weird past? The younger dude.
And
because partway through the movie, so throughout the whole time, the whole month, the older dude's calling the younger dude just boy.
Right.
And then when he gets mad, he's like, "You dog," which has pertinence later.
Winslow.
Right.
I cast a curse upon you, and he's like that whole scene. He's a good ranter. William Dafoe, he's a good actor.
Yeah. But and then the last week or the last night, it's towards the end of his stay. And then he's like, "Well, you should call me by my real name, like from now on." And then he tells him my name is like Ephraim Winslow, right? And then the storm hits, and they get stuck there, and they don't know how long they're gonna be stuck there. And then they talk about, what I don't get is they talked about, hey, we should start rationing this food, and then but they don't give a fuck about rationing the liquor.
Right, because if you're gonna get drunk, you might as well get fucking plastered.
Yeah, but I'm like, whatever.
You're not gonna take a shot in the morning, and it's like, all right, we'll take a shot at like tomorrow morning. You know what I mean? It's
yeah,
like,
but if you're rationing food and you don't know when the next like people are gonna come for you, like wouldn't you start rationing the liquor too?
I feel like, have you ever met somebody who's like a legit alcoholic? Like legit, like once they start drinking, they force themselves to continue drinking.
Oh yeah, I have a cousin like that.
I've worked with people like that. Like I've had coworkers where it's like they can't just have one drink. You know what I mean? They can't just get a sip of liquor because then it's like they get this like parched for liquor. You know, like cotton mouth. They're like.
Okay, I got you.
This episode.
So you're saying these dudes are drunks?
Yeah, and you're alone on an island, like you're bored, like all you do is chores.
Okay,
right?
I see your point.
You've got like 4 miles radius.
Right, but then at one point he's like, But when they're talking about rationing the food, the dude's like, "No, we haven't even been here that long," and then the younger dude's like, "No, like we haven't even been here that long," and then the older dude is like, "What the fuck are you talking about? We've been here for forever."
Right, like weeks.
Right, and then he's like, "You tell me how long we've been here? 5 weeks,
and
month,
then
5 years,
and then they start like,
right, shit starts getting trippy after that. You know what I'm saying? And then after that, that's when they get drunk, and then he's like, "Well, tell me that you like my food." And he's like, "Nah, I'm sick of your shit."
Right, he's like,
and then he curses him. Right,
right. He was so offended by it. Right. And
also, what you remember? What causes the storm?
He kills the seabird.
He
bad
kills
luck.
the seagull.
Bad luck, right?
And right. The night before the day before he's supposed to leave, and then there's a storm, and then they get stuck. And then that's when shit really starts to get weird. So I feel like there's frame of time or sense of time starts to get all messed up.
Hot take, ready? Mm-hmm. They're in purgatory.
I can see that.
They're like in hell or like in purgatory. And they're like, this is their punishment for the sins of their past. And they both are just like, it's like that episode of Black Mirror, whenever that dude's in the cabin with him.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, tell me about your story, man. Yep. And then he's like, how did I get here? How long have I been here?
Okay.
And he's like, you know what I mean?
I can kind of see that.
It's like hell.
But what purpose does the light have? Because the older dude keeps saying like, I'm only gonna work the night shifts because I want to work the light.
There's obviously imagery there, right? Like what does the lighthouse represent?
I feel like getting back to our earlier conversation, the lighthouse represents what you were saying. Like if you ever were to like lay your eyes on God or like feel His presence, like you would be like.
It would just be incomprehensible. Like, so that's what I was gonna say. Like, the light is the end all be all. Like the thing you want the most. And if you were in purgatory, that would be salvation, right? Like heaven, right? Like the light could be heaven.
Wouldn't you think you would need to do something good to do that though? You know,
not kill a seabird or like, you know what I mean? Maybe it's a testament of their will. You know what I mean? It's like maybe. It's a test.
I don't know. I think it's just supposed to represent like.
Am I thinking too like?
No. I feel like that could definitely be an interpretation. I definitely see that for sure. But I'm just wondering like, what else could the light represent? You know.
Right. Because
I'm thinking
it might be a little bit more simple too. It might be like
right. But like. I don't know. It gets back to like all the sexual imagery too. It's like
he wants it so bad.
It's like he had the best nut ever.
Yeah,
the movie. You know what I'm saying?
From the loneliness, you know what I mean? It's like the ecstasy of human intimacy.
It's like
intimacy.
It's like when you ain't been with a bitch in a minute.
Intimacy. You haven't been intimate in a long time. Like a bitch ain't even touch you, and then like. All of a sudden, a girl breathed next to you, and you're like,
"Yes, I was just about to say that shit." Yeah.
You're full of cum, is what it's called, I believe. Dumb and full of cum.
Right. That's why those semen retention dudes are next level.
Yeah, balls full tank
at all times.
Full tank.
But anyways, I feel like that's what it is. It's like
the light is the end all be all, like the virginity, like the. You know what I mean? Like
it's like I don't even know how to explain it. But once he gets to it, he's like, this is too much.
Right, exactly.
He's like, this isn't what I expected. You know.
And then he like busts in his pants. You know what I mean?
Right. Do you think? I think kind of like the old dude is supposed to represent. Like, this is kind of a hot take, but the old dude is supposed to represent. Fuck. Why is this? No, never mind. I'm not even
a tongue twister.
No. I'm not even gonna say it. It's too deep.
Is it?
Too deep.
Is it?
No, I just don't want this to become a religion pod. It's just getting creepy.
Fair enough. Yeah.
I was gonna say the old dude is like God, right?
Right. It is getting creepy. Ugh.
Because he's always being like, "Hey, don't do that shit. You're not working hard enough," you know.
Right.
And dude is just like, "Hey, I'm just living. I'm just doing my thing."
Is he mankind? Is he like?
And he's mankind.
Okay.
And then God keeps being like, "Hey, you don't want these secrets.
You don't like my cooking. You don't like my gifts to you. You know what I mean? The earth,
right.
the Bible. You know what I mean?
Right,
I gave you word for word what you need to do, and you know what I mean.
And then right.
And he just wants to sin anyways.
Exactly.
You know.
Exactly. And then you know how like in Adam and Eve, he's like, "Don't eat the fucking apple. You don't need to know what the apple brings," type shit. You know,
Right. Don't kill the bird.
Right. It's the forbidden fruit.
Yeah, like the seabird.
No, don't go up in the fucking lighthouse.
Oh, this lighthouse is the fucking forbidden fruit.
Right.
The light is the forbidden fruit.
Right.
That's what it is.
Right. The old dude is God.
It's the apple.
Right. And the old dude is God. He's like, "Don't do that shit.
Yes.
Only I can
Because he's been around and he's just
he's
like,
bro, only I know what's up there. Don't do that shit." And then
do you think he was jerking it up there?
who knows what he was doing up there? But he was like, "Don't go up there." Like, you don't. Every time he brought it up, he was like, "No, shut that shit down real quick."
Okay. Devil's advocate. Imagine you're in Adam and Eve's shoes or Robert Pattinson's shoes. Mm-hmm. You're mankind, and God tells you you can have everything you want except for this big, fucking, bright, like shiny golden apple. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like you can have everything except for this. You know what I mean? Wouldn't you want that thing so fucking bad?
Yeah, that's just human
inherent
nature.
desire.
It's human nature.
Really?
That's like.
And God created us, and He created our human nature, right? So like,
I mean, I guess so. But did we create our own human nature? Because God isn't necessarily human.
Manifest destiny.
No, I'm saying like Adam and Eve were the fuck. This is getting way too religious, but Adam and Eve were the
fuck.
But Adam and Eve were the first humans, right?
Yeah.
And so they were the first ones to be like, to have the inkling to be like, oh my God, like he's saying that's off limits. I want it.
He's hiding something from us.
So
like, what is he hiding?
And we're all descendants of Adam and Eve, so they were the first humans that were creating what human nature is.
Right.
So all of our instinctual things inherently come from Adam and Eve.
Allah.
Quote unquote. Fuck. Let's get off this topic. Let's wrap it up. Lighthouse.
What do you think about Skeet and Yay?
Wait. We gotta wrap up Lighthouse.
Okay.
We gotta give it a rating.
Segue.
We gotta give it a rating.
Okay.
We already said some of our favorite parts. We gotta give it a rating.
1 out of 10.
Gotta give a rating. Out of 10, I would give it a 7.8. No, 8. It's an 8. Solid 8.
Fair enough. I was gonna say like a 9.
I thought it was really good. I just somehow the story was weird.
It lacked in areas, in my opinion.
As far as storyline goes, it lacked.
Right.
But because it feels like it wasn't paced very well, I'll say that it wasn't paced well.
Right.
That's my only gripe.
Yeah, like slow burn into like bing bang boom.
Yeah, everything starts happening fast. I like how it was really trippy. He had like those dream sequences, had you confused.
Horny police.
Yeah, it's like has all the things that I like in a movie, like the weirdness, like
like nonchalant, like the cryptic. I like the use of crypticness. You know what I mean?
Me too. Where you're
Archive 81 does that.
Yeah, where you're supposed to we just had like 7 different theories of what this and that meant, and things like that. Shout out Fort Carson. Who died?
Who died?
That's how you know we going to World War III. Anyways.
Lieutenant Dan.
Lieutenant Dan. All right.
You ain't got no legs, Lieutenant Dan.
But yeah, there's so many different layers we could peel back. You know, that we just kicked around 3 different theories of what things could be. I know, and it's miles away. That's crazy.
The mics are picking that up.
It's at least 5 miles away. We're gonna get copyrighted for this shit.
It must be World War III.
Yeah. I'm trying to put a button on this so bad.
Sorry. This is just bewildering.
But we just kicked around like 3 different scenarios of what shit can mean. So that's what I like about a movie.
It's like the philosophy, you know what I mean? Like the stories we tell. It's like back in the day, you used to tell like the Odyssey. You know what I mean? Like one guy would know the whole Odyssey, and so he would tell a great tale. And so I feel like that's where movies divulge from, was like,
well,
shit like that.
In every civilization or society, there's always been like a quote unquote storyteller or a scribe or like someone that writes down all the stories of the culture.
Of course, those are my favorite. Like the
African culture, it's called a griot.
Yeah, like the creation stories. You know, like Native Americans do that, and they had like the turtle on the back, like the world's on the turtle on the back. Like I love shit like that. That's like,
but there's like always certain people appointed like to be like the storyteller, you know,
of course,
of the tribe or of the society. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like in today's quote unquote society, those are filmmakers,
movies,
directors, and they're movies.
Even like the fictional ones.
Yeah, because they're just our modern day stories. You know what I'm saying? Like if we look back in 1,000 years, people are gonna look back at
like Star Wars, for example.
Yeah, people are gonna look back at that and be like, that's gonna be like their Hansel and Gretel type shit. You know what I'm saying? Like stories we grew up on.
Exactly.
Like Tortoise in the Hare. Like
okay, yeah.
Type shit.
Because you're right. Like all civilizations do that. Like where they like have tales. I think Hansel and Gretel's German. You know what I mean? And then like Cinderella's like.
I think they
European.
All of them are German. Honestly, they all came from the
probably
Grimm brothers or whatever.
I actually wouldn't doubt that.
You know what I'm saying? Like. It transitions from the storytellers to writers to now it's people don't read as much. It's people that write TV and movies. You know what I'm saying? They're telling the stories of our time. You know what I'm saying?
I still remember those like
evolved versions of those like folk tales
and the mythology.
Right,
you know what I mean?
Like evolved versions, like today's version of what that would be. You
right.
Know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you know that movie with George Clooney, directed by the same dudes that did The Big Lebowski, and they did the Coen brothers.
Oh,
Father.
Oh brother, where art thou? Oh brother, where art thou?
Yeah, that's just an evolved version of the Odyssey that we were just talking about. That's literally the exact same story.
Right.
Like evolved to the 1950s.
Shout out to Miss Eberwine.
You know what I'm saying? Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Did you watch Miss Eberwine's class?
I mean, I had a different English teacher, but same
you had what's her name, Miss Blunt, right?
Nah, I did have Miss Blunt, but freshman year had some other bitch. She was really a bitch. I don't even remember her name.
Damn.
I just remember her being really a bitch.
Miss Eberwine was
cool.
The opposite.
Yeah, Miss Eberwine was super cool. I never even had her as an actual teacher, but
I had her a few times.
And yeah, I never had her, but like we were just always cool. Yeah, anyways. Yeah, it's just evolved stories, you know.
Right. Yeah.
We're taking the, I think someone said it. There's only like 5 different stories or like base stories that everything is based off of. You know what I'm saying? Like
everything has like similar.
Like you ever heard of like the hero's tale or whatever, where it always like has the same thing. Like
I watched TED Talk.
Right. So all the like.
Hey, I went to Whitefield. You fuck. Okay. I got the same Whitefield education. YouTube University.
There you go.
Hey.
But you know what I'm saying? Everything just evolves from like the same base stories.
Yeah. Yeah, like a structure.
We're just retelling the same stories, but
yes, sir.
Just making it different for our time.
I believe
our
that.
Generation,
Yeah. Yeah. And I also like things like more specifically, I love things that are like African. Like if I'm thinking like Africa has creation stories, like the animals that they talk about, like a mythology, and then
look at Don trying to pander to the black community. I'm just kidding.
This is pandering. Go to a museum, educate yourself. There's an African section. But yeah, it's like
I totally get what you're saying.
Yeah, like I love I have those stories stuck in my head of like Native American stories of creation. Like I remember there was like this coyote that was chasing the moon, and then that's how the days go and stuff.
right.
And so it's like, and those stories pertain to the geology in the area. They were exposed to like things like horses and stuff like that.
That's
So
what
it's
I'm
like
saying. You just change it to whatever your culture is.
exactly. And so I love shit like that. You know what I mean? I love that the human mind can do stuff like that, especially with cinema. That's why I love cinema. Is like it's an art, and The Lighthouse was I keep wanting to say noir because it's like
I think so.
black and white.
I think it's just because it's black and white, but no, I don't think it's.
It doesn't have.
I think like it doesn't have any like the detective type shits. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right, or like the smooth jazz. You know what I mean? Like 1950s. That's like 50s, and then this is like
1800s.
Even
I think
1800s.
It's just like
even 1900s.
It's like Moby Dick.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, and I just want to say noir, but noir is probably, but I definitely rate it high on a scale of should watch if you haven't watched already.
I think,
right?
Yeah, for sure.
Even though we explained like the entirety of the movie.
Yeah. What else is a review for?
Exactly. And now you can watch it for yourself and decide.
Facts.
And see if you saw similar themes. Which reminds me of Kanye's new animated video.
Yeah, what do we think? I know we gave our thoughts about Pete and Skeet, but at the end of the day, our thoughts were we don't care that much.
Who gives a fuck? But also, we stay updated on this shit. We stay hearing about it, right? We
Well, the latest
out there.
The latest in the Pete versus Kanye.
Kanye versus Pete. Actually.
Kanye versus Pete.
Kanye versus Skeet, rather.
Kanye versus Skeet.
You could tell we're Team Kanye.
Yeah, I mean, we already don't like that guy. But
yeah, I mean, I don't think he's a good comedian. I don't think he's
kind of funny. He has one bit I like
on SNL.
No, not on SNL.
Right,
with him being on stage though.
But he's famous from SNL, and none of his skits on SNL.
I don't think he's famous from SNL. Mm-hmm. I think he was famous before that. I think so.
As like a stand-up.
Yeah, literally.
I'm just not like.
He has one bit that I like. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt.
Okay.
And he's in one movie that's pretty good that he wrote.
Is that Staten Island?
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought that was pretty good. Like probably a 7 out of 10.
Okay. I'm still not gonna watch it.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm still not watching it. I haven't seen it, and I will not watch it.
I wouldn't waste your time watching it, but it was solid. You know, it wasn't a bad movie.
Like Big Time Adolescence, I've scrolled past that a million times. It's another movie he did. I refuse to watch.
Oh, okay. Anyways,
he's just on the cover of it.
I'm just saying, like, I don't know. I watched the interview with him and Charlemagne, and he was talking about how he's a sad boy, and I kind of felt bad. I was like, come on, you can't bully this guy that hard.
Chin up, King. Your crown is falling.
Yeah, that's how I feel.
This man an empath. All of a sudden you got emotions and shit, huh? He thinks shit's sweet out here. You think shit is sweet? Sweet Skeet?
Sweet Skeet.
Sweet Skeet. Shit ain't sweet.
Well, what do we think about
unsweet and Skeet?
What do we think about the video? That shit was kind of crazy.
That shit is dope. I love the claymation.
Did we talk about the song itself?
Not yet. It just came out.
No, it came out like a month ago. The song.
Okay.
Remember I was showing you in your kitchen?
Yeah.
That was like 4 episodes or so ago.
Yeah, that was.
I don't know. I like the song a lot. I think I don't like Game.
Yeah, fair enough. That's like and he starts it, so it's like you got to listen to a whole.
I just feel like
60 seconds.
Yeah, I just feel like Game is a cornball for a myriad of reasons.
Yeah, it's almost like when you hear DJ Khaled on a Drake track, and you know it's gonna be trash. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like the beat's gonna be all right, and it's just like
fair enough. But other than that,
sneak this.
Let
me just slide that in there.
But other than that, going straight to Kanye's verse, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you're breaking up with a bitch, that's a perfect song to be bumping right now.
Yeah.
What did he say? He said, "My new bitch bad."
He said, "This is gonna be the greatest divorce ever.
The best divorce
ever."
Yeah, I mean,
he's like bought a house across the street. right?
You said, what's the point of being rich for? That's a bar.
Yeah.
What is the point of being rich?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Unless you have a bad bitch and could buy a house across the street from your ex-wife. Terrorize her life.
What do we think about? Yeah, I don't really
Just think about the kids. Think about the children.
think about the children.
Think about the children.
Think about Pete. What if someone made
Skeet.
Think about Skeet. What if someone made a video where they were like kidnapping you and like killing you? Is that what happens at the end? He's like decapitated, right?
I think that would be precedent for a file of a lawsuit.
Right.
Unless you put JK at the end, then it would be totally fine. If you put JK at the end, then everyone's going to think it's a joke. Everyone's going to think it's hilarious. You know what I mean? Because it is a joke. It's satire.
Yeah, I can see that.
And if Skeet went missing, I wouldn't even notice. So
someone would notice.
Not me.
All right, man. What do we think about World War III?
I might even turn a blind eye. It's happening.
Are we?
You've been seeing the shit I've been sending you, right? Like every time there's an update, I send it straight to you. I'm like, yo.
No. What I don't understand is, what the fuck is up with Twitter? Do you get those updates?
Yes. Isn't that crazy? Like I get all my my news. It like Twitter gets it first, hands down, in my opinion.
But do we think
all
that
new
there's
news?
a whole bunch of Russian bots on Twitter or on the internet in general, right?
Okay,
because
I believe that.
I've been seeing nothing but Russia's on their ass.
Yeah, and
Russia's going deeper in Ukraine,
and
Russia's going deep in that bitch.
You heard it here first, folks. Fucking be on the lookout for cybersecurity attacks. Like I would actually like preemptively do some things like change your passwords and stuff like that, just because like
fuck me.
Financial
same password for most everything.
Mac, don't.
You got me stressed, that ass.
Russia is watching this already,
Subscribe.
and you just hey, and the least you could do is throw a like on the video. The least you could fucking do.
Fuck a like. Subscribe.
Fuck a Russian hacker too. By the way,
yeah, Russian. That's what I'm saying, bro. We already had beef with Russia. We just needed a reason. You know what I'm saying? Not like.
Did we have beef with Russia? I thought we had ties with Russia when Trump was in office. Remember, like they were all buddy and.
Yeah.
And then as soon as Sleepy Joe came in,
and everybody was trying to get Trump's ass out of here. Don't act like he wasn't impeached for half the time. You know what I'm saying?
And he was still pulling strings.
Trump was the only thing keeping this ship afloat. You know what I'm saying? He knew the Russians were about that shit.
Yes.
And he was like, we got to be on their good side.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the rest of America's like, nah, we didn't even want you in there. Y'all were in bed with the Russians. That's how you got here. We're like, fuck the Russians.
Cups.
Everybody's like, fuck the Russians. I mean, not everybody. Mostly all the Democrats and shit were like, fuck the Russians. So once they got in power, they were like, yeah, super fuck the Russians. You know what I'm saying? So they were like, we gotta go to war with these dudes somehow.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They keep hacking our elections. They keep hacking everything.
And putting out like fake stories. Have you seen like the ghost of Kiev was fake? The fucking there's just like all kinds of shit already.
I'm just saying the Democrats don't fuck with the Russians, so they needed reason to go to war with them.
And who is that? Who's that? Is it Sleepy Joe? You think?
Who gives a fuck about Sleepy Joe?
Right, but is
there's bigger fish to fry than Sleepy Joe.
Making these moves? Who's making these fucking moves? Are we gonna get targeted by the CIA for
if it's not blatant that the president doesn't run shit, it should be now. It's fucking Sleepy Joe in there. You think he's making these big decisions? Come on.
Who is it? Camilla? You think it's Camilla behind the scenes?
The Russians are watching. I'm not even gonna say who it is.
I know. Read the emails. Show me the emails.
Anyways.
Show me the emails. If Teddy shows up and blasts us, I wouldn't even be surprised, bro.
Who the fuck is Teddy?
Kaczynski. Teddy Snowball. Teddy.
Oh.
If we go to Cuba
Oh man. Anyways,
If we go to Cuba and we don't show up, just know the CIA got us because the Macintosh show.
and we had beef with China too. So we got beef with China and Russia,
And they're trying to take over Taiwan, right?
Yeah, and they're on the same team.
Kinda.
Not kinda. They said they were as close as two nations could be without being in an alliance.
Sounds kind of homosexual to me.
Homosexual as it may, they could get together and fuck us. They're like making the super gay that wants
The super train.
yeah
The super gay train.
yeah. It's like if two gay dudes could have babies in Russia and China fucked and they had a gay baby and they were like, we're gonna fuck America.
And they were grooming Taiwan and Ukraine and then taking advantage of them, Jeffrey Epstein style.
Anyways,
And now they're taking over.
they are taking over.
Usurping with their seamen
Yeah,
and their landmen
yeah. We don't actually know any of the facts though.
and their airmen.
We're just spitballing.
This is all
But I'm just saying
a joke. In
play,
case the CIA is
right,
watching.
but playing devil's advocate here. If you were Russia, right?
I'm Russia.
But let's just paint a picture here.
I'm Peyton. Call me Bob Ross, the Russian Bob Ross, all right?
Okay, I'm gonna speak. You paint.
Okay, you got it.
Okay,
I'll do it in my mind.
there you go. So you're Russia, right?
Russia.
And under Obama, they took Crimea, and you were like, all right, fine, take it.
Cucked out.
They cucked out, right? Took Crimea. Man, some hooligans.
You know what's funny about that? That actually might be my stepdad.
Anyways,
Real life. Yeah, that one.
anyways, they took Crimea. So you're like, all right, you guys can have everything. Meanwhile, they already took Ukraine like way back in the day. But you're like, whatever. That's my old bitch.
Okay, gotcha.
And then they
Side
took
note.
they took your newer bitch, and you're like, all right, I'm gonna just be single.
Hey, yo.
You can't take none of my bitches if you single.
Super cucked out, though.
Right. So I've been cut down a couple times.
Seems bitch made so far, right?
So we're being pretty bitch made. Right.
Gotcha. I like it.
And then the nigga that fucked your bitch is coming over to your hood.
He's coming in my hood.
Yep. They got NATO parked right over in the Ukraine. Coming in your hood. And these dudes done already fucked your bitch.
Oh, man.
Took like 3 of your bitches.
Surrounded you. NATO's got you surrounded, right?
Surrounded you. Not only did he fuck your bitches, he moved into the house across the street. And you're like, you know what? Fuck this. I'm getting my bitch back. And that's what Russia did. He's getting his bitch back.
Hey, you ain't even lied. You ain't never lied.
It's like when a pimp loses his bottom bitch.
Right.
That's when all shit. You can't lose your bottom bitch.
Yeah, you can't even lose your top
When
top
Ukraine
dollar
was
bitch.
the bottom bitch.
Yeah.
And we were like, fuck it. I gotta get the bottom bitch back. You've been like single this whole time trying to pimp it out with other bitches, you know what I'm saying?
It just ain't working.
It's not working.
It ain't working. No money.
It's like the episode of South Park. Butter's bottom bitch.
Buffalo Soldier.
I think that's a different episode.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. If we go to World War III, are you fighting?
I will dodge the draft.
That's what I'm saying.
Call me Muhammad Ali. I'm an activist.
I know there's a whole bunch of people that were like, yeah, bro. After 9/11, I just couldn't take it. I had to join the military. I'm like, the fuck?
They make good cannon fodder.
What the hell? Yeah, I'm like, I feel bad for all the homies in the military. I'm like, you sold your soul for that Camaro,
Oh yeah.
for that Audi.
And then your girl's getting railed. You know what I mean? While you're overseas.
Yeah,
And it's like-
you're just out at war defending the country.
and then you get drunk and then you sleep with 2 Vietnamese women and now there's two families out there that you had to leave behind overseas, and then you come back and then you have to get a divorce and all you have is your car and you're in so much debt because you had to do a payment on your shitty ass Dodge Charger, and it's sported out, and it fucking is the epitome of your life.
I think that's a fallacy called the slippery slope.
Or it's just a very specific answer for a very, very specific person.
Oh wow, okay. I was chatting it up with this one dude, and he was a good old military veteran.
I was talking to a blind woman. I was chatting it up with a veteran.
Anyways, we were just chatting it up, good old bar talk.
Okay.
And he was telling me how money goes so much farther in the third world, like, Vietnam and Singapore and
of course Bangkok, Thailand.
Yeah, Thailand, exactly. And he was saying like he could buy a bitch for like $80, like,
and own her
in like Thailand money, and it would be like
own her legally
$2 or $3 like American money.
Yeah, and you just tuck her underneath your arm and you just walk off.
And then I was just sitting here like
to the back of the.
I'm just sitting here like, what sick shit have you done in your life?
Right. What else you be paying for, bud?
Speaking of, I was having a crazy conversation with a guy at a bar the other day.
Did he have a piano wire of Vietnamese people's ears?
Oh man, no.
Fair enough, because I know a guy.
You know a guy.
In case you were wondering.
But another casual bar conversation. But this dude just starts talking to me about his life, and he's just talking about how he's going through it with his bitch, right? And I was like, yeah, understandable, man. It'd be like that. It'd be like that. And then he was like, yeah, I just gave this bitch all the rent money. He was like, I'll be back in a month. And I was like, good for you. Okay. All right. And then he was like, he just thought he was the man, right? And I was like, all right, good for you, man. And then he was like, he pointed at some bitch like sitting down at the bar, and he was like, she gonna suck my dick tonight. I said, okay.
Is this man your long lost dad?
No, he's dead.
Who, the guy at the bar?
Man, maybe. He was pretty drunk by the end of the night. Okay. He was like medium drunk when I got there, and then he just kept drinking.
Boozing and cruising, huh?
Right, but he was like acting like he was like the most pimp ass dude I knew, right? And like he was like, I'm about to give you this game, right? And I was like, okay, I'm not doing nothing. I'm just sitting here and listen. So I just let him talk, and he was talking about various corny ways to get women, right? And I was like, all right, dude, yeah. And then he said, yeah, I used to be a prostitute too. And at that point, I said, hold up, what?
Pause.
And he just kind of flew by it, and I said, wait, we're gonna have to backtrack. You said you were the prostitute, and then he said yeah, and then I was like,
problem,
and I was like, tell me more. He said,
how much? I get discounts on the rooms. So. No. Jesus Christ, Mac.
I was like, this intrigues me. I was like,
how much?
I was like, please tell me more.
Oh my God, were you begging him or?
No. I was like, just tell me more about this prostitution that you took part in.
Yeah, just casual.
And then he said, yeah, when I was 12 and 13, bitches were paying to suck my dick. I said, what? He said, yeah. They came with 30, and I turned them away because it cost 40 for this dick. And I was like, seriously? He was like, seriously.
You ain't got no $50 dick? Or?
And I was like, and I was like, well, how long is this going for? And he was like, a couple of years. And I was like, are you okay?
Do you need to talk to somebody?
And then he was like, yeah, I'm that man. And I was like, okay. Moral of the story, I think that dude needs help.
Yeah, he needs something. That's
Yeah.
what he needs. He's had a rough childhood. That's
Yeah,
the only
but he
thing
was
I can
saying
say.
it like it was an accomplishment.
He's like, if you call having a 38-year-old girlfriend troubled. Yeah.
Oh man.
Blades of Glory.
Oh man. It's like that dude from no, not the dude, the girl from Step Brothers, the brother's wife.
Yes. Yeah.
That keeps wanting to fuck the other dude.
Yeah. Fucking Blades of Glory. He's like, something. He's had a troubled past. He's like, troubled? Yeah. If being 12 years old with 38-year-old girlfriend means troubled, then yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly the situation. It felt like.
It's like,
But you just said it so nonchalantly, like.
Oh, buddy, you were.
Like, am I sitting next to a psychopath right now?
No, you were sexually assaulted and you didn't. You just never realized it.
Yeah. I wonder if you ever got that girl to suck his dick.
I don't know. Maybe he had to force her.
Anyways, that's horrible. Do we think that Jordan Peele,
Yes,
is the Tarantino of our generation?
he's the Tarantino of horror movies. The black Tarantino of horror movies.
Yeah, I guess it's an unfair comparison.
Right, because like,
but
Jordan Peele does like only black folk. You know what I mean?
But like,
primarily.
Yeah, I guess I was just saying. I guess my comparison is Jordan Peele's had two movies that are like undeniably like classics, right?
Get Out.
And Us.
Have you seen Us?
I did actually. I watched it.
Okay, recently?
Yeah, since last week.
Really?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I watched it over and I was like, not yet, and you were like, it's been out for like 2 years.
And I outed you and you watched it?
Yeah, I was like, all right, I'm sick of it.
Fuck.
So I watched it.
What'd you think?
I thought it was really good.
Really?
I thought it was really good. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I went to go see it in the theaters.
Yeah, I thought it was really good. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. Did you like?
I won't say classic, but it's a solid horror movie. Like,
did you get it the first time through?
Maybe.
I think I had to do some surface level digging, like some.
I mean, based off first watch, I thought it was good. Like, I didn't really get to any like super deep thing.
Right, but you understand that like
it's supposed to be like the runaway slaves type shit.
Right, but the girl in the perfect family was like replaced the girl in the underground family. Like she was originally her, and like they switched places like early on.
What is that about switching places?
Right.
Like, it's a theme.
Ooh, okay. I like where you're going with that.
Like,
good eye.
I think it's like trying to say like you should experience the life, or you should like be empathetic enough to like be in the other person's shoes. You know, you get what I'm trying to get at?
Yeah, I'm also thinking like,
even though it's like on some creepy shit.
Right. I'm also trying to think like,
ooh, I got another creepy thing to talk about.
This episode's kind of spooky. This one's got a little bit of spooky vibes because like we gotta chill out with all that because I'm getting the creeps. We were just talking about too much.
Yeah, we got crackheads outside.
Oh man. You know me. I had to keep that thing on me.
I mean, you had to. What if it was that one dude?
I know, and
it has it out for you.
And that's the only thing that's gonna give me enough confidence to go knock up on the fucking glass. You know what I mean? Otherwise, I might have to.
Yeah, crackhead could go crazy on you.
Right.
They could go melody on your ass.
And
shoot you right in the back.
And I don't even know if I'm allowed to talk about this, but one of our banks got robbed.
All right, I'll bleep that out.
Is that a bleep worthy thing?
Yeah, you could just say a bank in the community got robbed.
But it's in our neighborhood, or well, it's like
it's around these parts.
It's around these parts. It's around these parts.
You gotta be just way more blanketed.
Yeah.
There was a robbery.
A robbery. Okay.
At a bank.
At a place of business. And
maybe we just bank at the same place.
I just been on edge. You know what I mean?
Yeah, one of my professors when I went to college, he said he was a bank teller for a long time and he quit because of how many times he got robbed.
Damn.
Well, I mean, not him specifically, but how many bank robberies there were.
Must have been a shitty bank.
Fucking callbacks.
Hey, it must not be that good, huh?
What were we talking about? Oh, okay. I forgot what we were talking about. I remember the next topic I wanted to talk about, but we should probably button this one up.
The crazy thing is I forgot to.
Okay, so I was reading this crazy theory. I forget what it's called. It had some corny ass name, and I was like, this doesn't have any parallels. But it's this crazy theory that, like,
Cornball theory.
yeah, let's call it the cornball theory.
Gotcha.
That, like, you know how we have horror movies like Annabelle and things like that?
That's what we were talking about, Jordan Peele and us. Annabelle, yes.
And things like that.
Conjuring, right?
No, but more specifically Annabelle. It was talking about how humans are, like, afraid at, like, not a genetic level, but, like, a instinctual level to be afraid of things that look human-like but aren't human.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, you know, how we find dolls creepy, mannequins.
Yeah.
Like, robots and shit.
Right.
There's a certain thing that's, like,
right.
Like, we find it, like, weird. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like, if you looked out into the backyard and saw, like, a silhouette of a person, you know what I mean? Instead of,
but
like,
it didn't, like, zombies, too. Like,
yeah.
Like, it's a person, kind of, but it doesn't quite move like a person.
Yeah, there is something that's, like, weird about, like, the humanoid aspect of things.
Right. So it was saying, like, it was just giving all those different examples, and it was saying, like, at, like, some, like, genetic level or some, like, instinctual level, that there must have been, like, something in our evolution that was, like, human-like, but not quite human, that we should have been afraid of.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Do you not think that's just other humans? Like,
You think so?
like the tribe mentality of, like,
That's a good take.
you know? I feel like it's, like, being afraid of ourselves because, like, the human variable is so unpredictable. Like, you can never fucking predict what another person can do accurately. Like, you can kind of predict, you know, like, people are predictable to a degree, like, they follow patterns and shit, but also, like
nature, like we were saying.
But, like, you back a human into a corner, and then that, like, their brain starts to, like, you know what I mean, like, really turn. Like, the human mind is, like, capable of, like, strategy, fucking, you know what I mean, like, complex ideas like that like,
sure.
An animal could think of, but not nearly as complex as, like, a human. Like, humans are predators. They're the biggest predator. You know what I mean?
Like you're saying, like, if someone was backed into a corner, like, there's so many different variables to take into consideration.
Exactly. You couldn't predict what they were gonna do, especially
about,
like
what they would do, like
fight or flight. Like, they might fight, they might run away, they might not. You know what I mean? Like, and so it's like.
But at the end of the day, it does come down to those two things. You're either gonna fight or freeze. You know, so that's a little bit like it's
fight or I guess
freeze, bit of predictability.
but try to escape. I guess like try to fight to like you know you might have to fight to escape, but still like that inherent like DNA instilled in you. I think it's like you know there was like the Homo genus, and then there was like the I appreciate that, buddy. You're a homogeneous. You're a mad.
Rashad's the homogeneous.
True. We're some mad geniuses.
Yeah, we are.
So yeah, I feel like so. You know how like Homo sapien came to be. There was like the genus Homo, which was like before Homo sapiens, and then there was like sapiens. And so, like, it was like Neanderthals up in the like northern regions, and that's where you find like
dropping some knowledge on me right now.
Vikings and stuff. You didn't know this? And then like in South Africa is where like that's where the sapiens.
That's why
lived.
white people are half Neanderthal.
Right, exactly. And then somewhere along the line, we had sex with each other and reproduced, and that's what created Homo sapiens.
Damn,
it's like a little bit of black people, a little bit of white people. Some people have more of the Neanderthal in them than others.
That's crazy.
That reminds me of Lil Uzi. during the Nardwar interview, he gives him the Rob Zombie poster, and he's like,
damn. So you think humans are just afraid of their own capabilities?
not their own, but like other people like them. Yes.
Right. It's like going back to World War III. Like, it's like mutually assured destruction. That's why we don't drop nukes on each other. You know, because we could just like be like, fuck y'all, we're just gonna drop nukes on you.
Do you have nightmares?
Oh, bro, I've been having the craziest dreams.
Like, but nightmares?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like,
what would you?
Yo, no, this needs to go in the Mac and Don lore. I had a dream the other night.
Mad lore.
Yeah, I had the dream the other night. I meant to tell X about it, but I totally forgot. But I had a dream the other night, and it was like all the homies are in it. Like all the Mac and Don homies that we've had on the pod were in it, basically. Like
all naked.
What?
Oh. Continue. What were we talking about?
All the homies were in it, right? And,
all the homies.
And for some reason,
the homies can't.
And for some reason, me and X were on some samurai shit.
Okay.
And we were fighting it out, but like on some like homie shit, you know.
Okay.
And
a test of strength.
Yeah. And I accidentally did something, but I knocked his ass out, right?
Okay. And
I was like, oh fuck! Now all the homies hate me.
Oh fuck! We all saw you do that to X.
Yeah.
You disrespected him.
Yeah, dead ass. And then like all the homies hated me, literally. Everyone was like, fuck Mac.
Not Sensei Batsu.
Yeah. Everyone was like, fuck Mac.
I'm like on the ground. I'm like, how could you?
I don't remember the exact how the storyline goes.
Blood on
but
your
I
hands.
just remember being like, damn. Everybody's like, fuck Mac, and I felt bad.
Yeah.
And that's the end of it. And then
that was your nightmare?
Yeah, and then I had another one. Fuck. It's so crazy that you can't remember dreams, but I've definitely been having crazy ass dreams. And, and 2 of them were definitely nightmares.
Yeah.
Why do you say
that? Because we were talking about humanoid figures, and do you have like nightmares that you had when you were a kid that are like still to this day you think about? Because I have a couple of nightmares that I used to have like over and over and over when I was a kid, and
not that I can think of. I always have sleep paralysis. I have that to this day.
Really?
Yeah,
that's crazy. I've never had that.
People say that they like feel like something on you or something on top of you, but I never feel that. I just feel like literally frozen, like you can't move, like you're trying to move but you can't.
Yeah, I've heard of that.
It's like if it was the Green Lantern and he like literally like put his like
held you down
shit all over you.
Right.
And you know what I'm saying? Like imagine like some superhero shit. Where you like just beams a little red green light on you, but it's like your whole body and you can't move. Like imagine you're like running towards him.
Right.
So, like do some shit to him. And he was
are you still sleeping at this point, or are you completely conscious? Eyes wide open?
It feels like a dream, but if it's like you're in that middle ground.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Limbo state.
Yeah.
I fucking...
And it's like, you can't move. And, like, I'm consciously being, like, trying to break out of it. You know, like, being like...
But you just, like, can't.
Yeah, I just can't.
Huh. Yeah, I've never had that.
And then, like, yeah, it's kind of crazy. And then, like, one time... Like, sometimes I'll like, wake myself out of it by, like, doing that. Like I remember vividly one time, I was in the bed with a female, and I was, like, having, like, one of the sleep paralysis shit. And I was, like, remember being, like, trying to be like, hey, bitch, help me.
Yeah, like, help.
Yeah, and I think I was like laying on my stomach, and I tried to be like turn around, like to be like, "Hey, help me!"
And you were just stuck.
Yeah, but I eventually like dead ass like got out of my sleep and was like, ugh, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like completely flipped over.
Damn.
Yeah, this shit gets crazy.
That's wild. Yeah.
It's not fun. And that's been literally been happening since I was a kid.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah. I personally, I used to think. I remember the earliest, like the first nightmare I ever had was this guy with a clear head, like a translucent head, and his brain was like blue electricity. You know what I mean? And you could like see his eyes, and they were also
Watchmen shit.
Yeah, almost. type like that, but his head's like glass or like it's almost like iRobot. You know what I mean? Like you remember those robots? Like they're kind of like sleek and smooth like that, but he's wearing like regular clothes, and he had a dog that was like similar in a way. It's like translucent, but like with electricity flowing through it, almost like a robot type deal. And there's this corridor where it's like it's like a plain corridor with it's almost like an office corridor, but it's like curving, and I'm like running down the corridor, and my parents are in front of me, like way back when my mom and dad were together. Like I used to envision them like being scared shitless out of their mind. I think them being afraid of him was making me afraid, and then eventually they'd be like out of my like they would run away, like, and I would be caught up behind, and he would be like on my ass, like running with his dog, like down around the corridor, and it would just be like this endless like running thing where I'm like trying to get away, and it's just like the tension.
Like to me, sometimes when I remember dreams, sometimes I just remember the feeling, you know?
Like yeah, I hear you. Like just the fear, you know what I mean?
Yeah, like
that.
with that dream with Dex, I just remember the feeling like, damn, all the homies hate me.
Damn, the homies hate me. All the homies.
You know what I'm saying? And I literally remember waking up being like, damn, that was just a dream. Thank God.
Just the fucking way you said that was awesome.
But you know what I'm saying? Sometimes I just remember the feeling, you know? How do you remember like intricate shit like that? I could never
I'm cursed.
A dream like that.
I'm like cursed with this like really good memory. It's like
I'm the same way, but never with dreams.
Fair enough. I'm the same. I'm this way with like movies. Like I have like a catalog of movies in my head, and if you bring up a movie I've seen, usually I can tell you every actor who's in it. I can name every actor's name. I can name songs in scenes. Like if there's a song in it that I've heard before, I can tell you exactly what scene is going on, and I can picture it in my mind and like replay it. It's like
I'm that way, but not with movies, but with life. Like I can remember like where we were sitting when, like, you know what I'm saying? Like
we were doing DMT.
Right. Like I remember like shit. Like
me too.
Like in this moment, like if I were to retell what we were doing, like I could like in my head, I would reimagine everything. You know?
Yeah.
So,
like I can see. You remember that night? I stayed the night at Chance's house, and you had wrestling the next morning. You had like meat maybe or something like that. And I think me and Chance played fucking.
Oh yeah, you played that horrible.
Yeah,
game.
like all night.
Yeah.
I
remember that shit.
We used to like stay the night all the time. We used to like have sleepovers all the time.
Fuck. Do you remember this shit? Fucking. You remember like way back in middle school, you would make that raindrop noise with your mouth?
Yeah, I can still do that.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
Yes. All right, I'm about to throw it way back. 6th grade. Mr. Kelso. No, not Kelso. Fucking Mr. Cronmiller.
Cronmiller, yeah.
Math. You remember?
I do remember. I did have Mr. Cronmiller for math in 6th grade.
Yeah, we sat in the very back next to each other. Like, I think that may have been like the very first time we like ever met, because we didn't go to elementary school together.
Yeah, it must have been.
It had to have been. I just remember you kept doing that shit during class, and I was like, "Fuck, how's he doing that?"
How's he doing that? That's funny. My grandpa showed me how to do that. My grandpa showed me how to do that.
I just imagine just this little Mac trying to pay attention in math class, trying to do maths and shit, and there's this kid next to me just making raindrop noises, and it's fucking mesmerizing.
It's beautiful. Is there a faucet in here?
I'm like, and that's my first memory of Dawn ever.
And then we also rode the bus together.
Yeah, I don't think that
and
was.
So I saw you
like,
every day.
Yeah, I don't think that was till like 8th grade though.
You didn't start riding the bus till 8th grade?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wow. That's funny.
Yeah, crazy world.
And I just knew who you were. You were a different Mac back then. You were a different Mac. I was a different Don back then.
Everybody's different. Everybody goes through.
I was Big D. I was Fat D.
Yeah.
I was Fat D. I'm gonna start calling that phase of my life Fat D.
Yeah, I feel like.
And now I'm Big D. I'm Skinny D now, but.
But you're Big D.
Yeah. Big skinny D.
Big skinny D.
Big skinny D. Skinny Big D.
That's gonna be your rap name.
Skinny Big D.
DJ Skinny Big D.
I'm dialing it in, yeah. Long Don Julian.
Yeah, but I feel like everybody goes through phases and shit. Everybody like, you know what I'm saying? Everybody grows and
there's different D's. You know what I mean?
Yeah. We're like in the grand scheme of things, we're at the very beginning of our evolution as people.
We're caterpillars, flourishing into butterflies.
Yeah, but even when you flourish as a butterfly, like there's like even more.
Another metamorphosis.
Yeah, there's another metamorphosis. There's many metamorphoses.
Metamorphosis.
Yeah, I forget what I was listening to, but someone said everybody's either going through something, about to go through something, or just got out of going through something.
For real.
So it's like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for real.
Life.
Yeah, and something's gonna happen again.
Yeah.
Here soon, probably.
Yeah, for sure. It's crazy to think. But damn, me and Don been friends for a minute now.
Yeah, childhood friends.
Yeah.
This loyalty runs deep.
Yeah, we're gonna make even more friends, Mac and Don friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be great.
Mad geniuses.
Mad geniuses.
Yeah.
We're just gonna have a little clan of
Mad scientists.
Yeah, of people that think exactly like us, you know.
Mad comedians, mad you name it.
Yeah, that's what I want our podcast audience to be, you know, just a people that think like us, you know.
Everybody's a little bit crazy, and we're definitely crazy. I feel like
a little
to a degree.
I mean, we sit and listen to ourselves talk for an hour and a half a week.
Hours and hours and hours. We have a whole catalog of stuff.
We gotta be a little bit crazy, a little bit narcissistic.
A little bit narcissistic, a lot of it narcissistic.
Yeah. I actually have a bit about that, about how self-centered you have to be to want to be a stand-up comedian.
And because you laugh at your own jokes.
Yeah, not only do you laugh at your own jokes, but you think you're good enough to, you know, stand in front of people and you be the center of attention, and you're not doing anything but talking.
Yep. And you know your shit's funny, otherwise you wouldn't be doing it on stage, you know.
Well, yeah. You have to think it's funny yourself.
Exactly. Yeah. Otherwise you wouldn't even try it, you know.
Right. But, you know, it's just weird.
Yeah.
You know, you have to be a little bit self-centered, a little bit narcissistic.
That's what I mean, like Mad. You know what I mean? Like the Mad Hatter. He's a little weird. You know what I mean? He's always like, and like, that's what I think of. Like when I think Mad, I think like not crazy in a way,
like we're up to shenanigans.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and Mad could be like also like when you see somebody do like a sick thing on a skateboard, you know what I mean, or something like that. Like that was mad crazy. You know what I mean? Like, or like when somebody biffs it or like eats shit. Yeah. You know, that's like that was mad crazy. Mad is very versatile. I feel like that's why.
For sure. That's why it's Mac and Don.
It's a good dynamic.
Yeah. Shout out to that one day in track practice where we came up with this idea.
Yeah. Shout out to that one day we were at the park and we tried to record one of our early episodes.
Yeah. Now look at us. It's the evolution. You know what I'm saying? Evolution.
We just get better and better
every time.
Every time.
And
we love you guys.
Facts. We should probably wrap it up. Let's get into the hour and a half. I think the camera's going to die any minute.
We got some good clips out of this.
I think so.
Very philosophical.
Oh, yeah. We definitely started this philosophical. That's probably because I smoked a fat blunt on my way here. So I was like,
for real. And we touched all the topics.
Yeah. We touched them. We didn't button them all up. That's one thing
we didn't talk about Nope. Do you want... I think
we just talked about Jordan Peele.
Right. You going to watch it?
Yeah. That's what I'm. For some reason, I'm getting Tarantino vibes from Jordan Peele. I feel like this next one, if it's not as urban centric as the politically correct way to say it is, if it's not,
you mean black.
if it's not like that, you know what I'm saying, like his previous ones have been, which were dope. But if he's, going a different direction, maybe he, would be more so in that category.
Are you gonna watch Batman?
I really want to watch Batman.
I really want to watch Batman. Are you off tomorrow?
No, I'm not off tomorrow.
Okay.
And the last showing was at 11 too.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I was thinking you and I could go, or like you, me, and Skylar could go.
Wow, we gotta check if it's on HBO. All right.
That too.
Right. Yeah. Spend another week with your favorites duo.
Comedian.